Well, the Tennessee Volunteers are going on the road to face off against the South Carolina Gamecocks this Saturday. And I'm going to give my prediction for the game. But first, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. This is going to be an interesting matchup, guys. You have the Tennessee Volunteers uh, coming off a huge victory over Missouri. And they want to finish out the season on a good note. They only have one loss against Georgia, and they're sitting at currently at number 5 in the college football playoff rankings, and looking to get in. If some things go their way, and you got a team in South Carolina had a better season than they've been having, and they're looking to find some momentum. Going into this matchup, and they're hosting the Volunteers, and they're looking for a victory here. And I'm gonna read off the stats for the game. We all know Tennessee has Hendon Hooker, one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. He's thrown for 2,888 yards with 24 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's just a phenomenal job he's done for Tennessee, and he just continues to look really, really good. Like I said, they bounced back against Missouri last game, and in a big way, and they should impress the college football committee, as a team, to look out for to potentially get in the playoffs. And in my opinion, I think they're going to get in there, but that's just my opinion. South Carolina has Spencer Rattler. This is a guy started at Oklahoma and had lost his job to Caleb Williams, and he's transferred to South Carolina, and has struggled this season. He's thrown for 1,982 yards. He has 8 touchdowns, but he has 9 interceptions. So he's struggled, really, really bad this season. Dude is very, very talented, but he just has to make better decisions as a quarterback. And but he has some guys around him to help him out. Of course, South Carolina has Marshawn Lloyd. He's ran for 556 yards and 9 touchdowns. So he has some guys that's around him to help him offensively. He's just been inconsistent as a quarterback. We all know Tennessee has Jalen Wright, and he's ran for 598 yards for 8 touchdowns. They also got another guy in Jabari Smalls, who's a really, really talented running back as well. So Tennessee is a very, very good running team this season. They run more than they pass the ball, which is really, really good. Tennessee also has Jalen Hyatt, a beast of a player. He has 1,116 yards on the season, and he has 15 touchdowns. This guy is hard to stop. He's a good route runner, and he always finds a way to get open behind defenses. So definitely going to be a guy that South Carolina going to have their handful against, to defend. And, of course, South Carolina has Antoine Wells Jr. He's got 590 receiving yards for 4 touchdowns. So this is going to be a good matchup, to see how South Carolina's offense can do against Tennessee's defense. And I'm going to break down the points per game. Tennessee's averaging 47.4 points per game. South Carolina is averaging 28.6. So Tennessee has a clear advantage. It's just insane how much, points Tennessee is averaging a game. They're always getting 40 and above for the most part. The only hiccup was against Georgia, but that was on the road at Georgia. It'd be interesting to see if Tennessee gets back in the playoffs. If they get a rematch against Georgia, it'd be interesting to see what happens in a neutral site. But Georgia's playing at a high level right now. But Tennessee probably would love to play against them again to get another shot at them. But Tennessee definitely has, in my opinion, the best offense in the country right now, next to Ohio State. So really, really good team offensively. Tennessee is allowing 21.9, so not bad, for a team, that's only, allowing 21 points per game. That's pretty good for a Tennessee defense. A lot of people like to talk about their defense, but they're really, really good. They have a great defensive front, and if they had some key guys out, but their team as a whole is just playing at a really, really good high level. South Carolina is averaging 28 points per game, but they're giving up 26 points per game. So they're almost giving up exactly as much as they're giving out. So that's not good overall. South Carolina definitely has to clean that up. Total yardage, Tennessee is averaging 543.7 yards per game. South Carolina is averaging 355.2. So, like I said, Tennessee clearly has the advantage there. You were to break that down, it's 348 through the air for Tennessee and 195 on the ground. That's just insane, be able to put up that much yardage, on teams. That's really, really good. South Carolina's averaging 228 through the air, and they're averaging 127 on the ground. So, like I said, South Carolina would like to pick that up a little bit, going into this matchup against Tennessee. Yards allowed, Tennessee is allowing 392. They're allowing 288 through the air, and they're allowing 104 on the ground. So they're doing a pretty good job of stopping the run, Tennessee. Really, really good run stopping team. And their only knock is that they give up a lot of, yardage through the air. But I think in previous stats, it was like in the 300 range. So Tennessee's getting better on the back end, So South Carolina's averaging, allowing 386, and they're allowing 194 through the air and 192 on the ground. So I guess that's pretty good as far as passing yards, but they're allowing too much on the ground, 192 on the ground. And like I said, 150 is like the sweet spot, and Tennessee is a good rushing attack team. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the matchup. Tennessee, of course, beat Alabama 52-49, my team. We could not stop their offense, guys. They got one of the best offenses in the country, like I said. So they beat Alabama at home, beat Kentucky at home 40-46. A team I thought Kentucky was going to score some points, but Tennessee really showed up in that game. The defense played phenomenal in that game. In my opinion, that was Tennessee's most complete game, in my opinion. To be able to shut down Kentucky's running attack like how they did. That was really, really good. And of course, they went on the road to Athens and lost to Georgia 27-13. And Georgia dominated that game, but if you look at the scoreboard, Georgia only won that game by 14 points. So that's why I was saying, Tennessee probably wants to play Georgia again to see if they have a better chance at beating them on a neutral site. And of course, like I said, coming off victory at home against Missouri, 66-24. And I think they impressed the committee at being number 5, just sitting outside the college football playoffs. So a team that's looking to get into the playoffs this season, and they got everything in front of them, and everything's lined up for them to potentially get in there. South Carolina, on the other hand, like I said, they was able to beat Kentucky 24-14. I think Will Levis didn't play that game, so it definitely put a damper on them offensively, not to have the quarterback in there calling the plays. But South Carolina beat them. They beat Texas A&M. That was a shocker to the world, Texas A&M team, but come to find out Texas A&M is really not that good this season, but still South Carolina was able to get that victory. I don't think they ever beat Texas A&M since they came to the conference, so that was a huge victory for South Carolina. Then they lost to Missouri 23-10 at home. They went on the road to Vanderbilt, beat them 38-27, but like I said, Vanderbilt is a team that's improved, they're playing everybody really, really good this season. And then, of course, they lost at Florida 38-6, so South Carolina, like I said, looking for another victory, in this matchup. I'm looking at the point spread, and it's at 21.5 for Tennessee. I'm going to give my prediction. I think Tennessee is going to win this game, and I can definitely see them winning just a little bit over the spread, I think. I got the score for the game. I got Tennessee winning 41-17. I think South Carolina may score some points, but it won't be nearly enough points to beat Tennessee. I can see Tennessee having another good day offensively. Like I said, their offense is just too good, man. They know how to scheme very, very well. They know how to make mismatches, and that's why they're so successful. For the most part, like I said, the only bump in the road was against Georgia, but Georgia has a great defensive staff over there, and they was able to match up, make adjustments to what Tennessee was doing, but Tennessee still finds a way to score. They still was able to score on Georgia. So Tennessee's just the better team right now against South Carolina. and they're really, really good, and in my opinion, one of the best teams in the country right now. But that's my prediction for the game. You guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and roll tide.